Hey there everyone, my name is Scott and I'm an alcoholic. Um, this is my second video. Um, I think today I'll discuss about my countless vain attempts to drink like a normal person and where it went with that. So, I don't know exactly where it began, really, when my drinking really started affecting my life terribly. I can say, though, that it's always been pretty detrimental to my life in many different ways. I didn't realize it as it was going on. Of course, being of the mentality that I had when I was younger, I just always wanted to be messed up in a certain way. I didn't want to be, I didn't want to have to deal with my own self. I didn't want to have to deal with reality. And it always made sense just to get fucked up. Um, but I guess in my early 20s is when the darkness really took hold on itself. There was a point in time where I would lay in bed at night, in the morning, it doesn't matter what time of the day it was, but if I was drinking, I was falling unconscious all the time, and I always had a bottle next to me. It was like my baby. I cuddled that bitch. And within arm's length, I wake up, reach, take a couple shots. If I wanted to stay up, I'd stay up, but really, the whole point of me drinking at that point was oblivion. Um, and that was a really bad part, really. Of course, that's that's me at the ultimate throes of alcoholism. That was when I was committed. I was living in Davenport, and I was living in the basement where my mom was living, and it was getting to the point where, well, I'll be honest with you guys and share a little, how should I say this, mm, grisly details, you know, and shameful. I was not taking showers, I was pissing myself and not cleaning up after myself at all. Vomit, every body fluid you can think of, just, I didn't clean up. I didn't care. And this went on for, I don't know how long. But eventually, one day, I asked my mom to bring me a bottle. And, because I was just finishing off. When I got that fifth, and it's just like right around there, I need a new one immediately, as soon as possible. Because I can't go 2 hours without starting to shake or starting to go crazy. My BAC had to have a continuous thing. It had to always be in my body. So I'm laying in bed, covered in my filth, all sorts of filth, and when she gets there, when she knocks on that basement door, in my very foggy state of mind, I saw that it wasn't just her that came in. It was the cops and the EMTs. She had the whole crew coming after my ass. I immediately knew what happened. This has happened before in a different way, and I've been through a committal. I've been through what happens when the 911 shows up. So I knew I was going to be taken away, or I wasn't going to be able to continue to drink. I immediately registered that, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, God damn it!" But so I had to surrender to them. There was no bodily means of escaping that situation, not at all. I could have lied my ass off of it, but when I stood up, my legs were just shaking. I couldn't hold my own weight. I already knew it was like, this is the end of the rope. I could heal and get better and then get back to this. I need to get back to this. But, one, I just, I need to heal a little bit. I need for this to stop and go back down. So I surrendered and I went with him. And eventually I was taken to a treatment center after detoxing. Um, that that moment was when I realized I didn't fully concede to myself that I was an absolute alcoholic. Like, I didn't understand what being an alcoholic really was. We all have this notion that being an alcoholic is a homeless guy underneath a bridge in a Carhartt, smoking a short cigarette and drinking out of a bottle that's covered in the brown paper. But that's totally untrue. In fact, I was there before. I've done that shit. But that doesn't make me or anyone else alcoholic. What makes me alcoholic is that I have this obsession of mine that whether I'm actually sober or whether I'm still going through my paces, I have this insane obsession that I can drink, that I want to drink, disregarding all the bad shit in my life that's happened over time again and again. Like, I viewed that as almost normal and acceptable and justifiable in every single way possible. That's what makes me alcoholic. And eventually, after all of those things happened, after some time, I finally realized that I have this mind that constantly wants to self-destruct. It doesn't want the best for me, and it constantly lies to me. It constantly tells me these myths that I can get away with it. And if not get away with it, then fuck it. Fuck it. So that's conceding to my innermost self that I'm alcoholic. It's finally realizing that it isn't okay. That's not right. It definitely took a lot of pain and suffering to get there. Luckily, I got there, within my 20s, because I've seen men who go decades and they still do this. They still do what I have done, and they've done it for most of their life. So I'm lucky that I got the chance to do this while I was still young. That I finally could come to terms with myself and with what's wrong with me, and finally get a chance to recover from that. It will be a lifelong recovery. To understand that even it's a big step, because some people can get, not even some, but a lot, can get this idea where once they get healed, there's a certain part of this book that says, where I found the inner workings of my own mind and everything possible that I possibly can't relapse, or I possibly can't drink enough, or I'll get in trouble and have all these consequences. Luckily, I'm not at that stage right now. And anyways, so that's where I'm at right now. I don't know what else to talk about, but that was just a little bit about my alcoholism, and hopefully you guys liked what you hear, and maybe you'll understand me a little bit more where I'm coming from. This is my place in life right now. This is who I am. There's a lot more to tell, so if you guys are being helped in any way listening to this, know that, there is a way out, and there is a solution, and it's much better than the old life, I'll tell you that. Being able to wake up and seeing opportunity and seeing a light at the end of the tunnel it's indispensable. So thank you guys for listening. Like and share if you want, if you've gotten something out of this. And with that, I'll pass. Thank you for listening.